So this one sort of came out of nowhere. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Ewan McQuaid, and today we are talking about Cesaro. I know I'm a bit late on this news, but news came out recently that Cesaro has indeed left WWE, and now the question remains, what next for Cesaro? Now, Cesaro has never been a wrestler that I've fully connected with. He was sort of around at a time when I wasn't watching WWE. And, you know, he came from Ring of Honor. I didn't really have previous knowledge of Ring of Honor. And sort of my main introduction to Cesaro was his feud with the Hardys. The Bar versus the Hardys, I think in 2017. And they had an absolutely stellar feud. They had a really great, I believe, Iron Man tag match. And from there, I did become a fan of Cesaro. He was just never one of my favourites. Then we get into 2021, in which he sort of gets that mini push with Roman Reigns. And yeah, that was sort of Big Tony making his main event debut, and it was stellar. It was absolutely stellar. So I don't know what WWE were thinking by letting him go. Maybe they just didn't offer him enough money. We don't know the full reasons behind why Cesaro wasn't kept. Well, why he didn't stay. Why he didn't stay at WWE. So the question remains, what next? What next for Cesaro? Now, me personally, AEW's roster is stacked at the moment. There are a lot of people there. Now, I do not know whether he would find his place in AEW personally. However, there is one slot in AEW that I think he should fill. That being standing alongside the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. I think those two sort of doing a Masters of Wrestling stable could both be funny, because I think they've both got really great comedic timing, and very, very hard hitting and cool. Them just recruiting people like Lee Moriarty and Daniel Garcia into that faction after maybe he turns on Moxley and Moxley doesn't join. Or maybe Moxley does join. Don't know. So yeah, that is the avenue I would take if he went to AEW. If he didn't do that, I can't really see him fitting in that well. Maybe he'll show up as the Joker in the ladder match at Revolution. But I think it'd be a one-off appearance. I don't think there's literally any more room for him to fit on the books in AEW. He might just get relegated to Dark, which would be a shame. So outside of there, where can he go? The G1 is right there. Claudio Castagnoli in the G1 would be incredible. He would get some sick matches in that. Even on Impact, he could possibly side with Honor No More, join Eddie Edwards and those guys. Maybe he could vie for the Impact World title. There is a lot of stuff he can do in Impact, and I think Impact is lacking sort of a big draw. You know, they've got W Morrissey. Wow, it's early. W Morrissey. But they haven't got that full sort of from the indies, was in WWE sort of style. They've got Matt Cardona, but Matt Cardona is like everywhere at the moment, so maybe. But I think Impact would benefit the most from getting Claudio Castagnoli, as I'm assuming he will now be known. So it's just a shame, really, because you look at, this is going to go off on a bit of a tangent, not necessarily about Cesaro. You look at the rosters on Raw and SmackDown, and they're just getting thinner and thinner. Like, SmackDown is barely a show at the moment. It's like, they got no one who is of the level of Roman Reigns. And Cesaro slotted in quite nicely there. So yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. I really don't. You know, with the roster wearing so thin, maybe the unifying of the title will help. We'll see. Raw's 3 hours, who knows. But back to Claudio. And the other option is Ring of Honor. With the rebrand on the way in April, maybe he could be a big get for Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor could push him at the forefront, as he was, a big part of that, sort of indie revolution in the late 2000s. I think he would help propel Ring of Honor to a bigger platform. I think he's just that good. He doesn't necessarily need the mic skills. He just needs to be that good of a wrestler. Cesaro versus Jonathan Gresham. Yes, please. That sounds very, very enticing. So I think those are the two options. I think Impact and I think Ring of Honor for Cesaro. At the end of the day, we get to see him wrestle more, which is always good. Whenever someone leaves WWE, that is the big bit. We get to see them wrestle more, and we get to see them wrestle a different style. So yeah, every cloud has a silver lining. Remember that. Let me know your thoughts on Cesaro. Let me know where you think he should go, what you think he should do next, down in the comments, and I'll try and reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.